Up next on Fox Soccer, it's been 10 months in the making. We fire up 179 monitors, a 300-inch touchscreen, 360-degree shooting angles, and generally bask in the glow of this. Welcome to the new home of Fox Sports, and we open it up for business next with the UEFA Champions League.
The UEFA Champions League Pre-Game Show on Fox Soccer is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. The UEFA Champions League qualifying playoffs are underway. Last week, some of soccer's most storied clubs put themselves within reach of the prestigious group stage.
It's come to Chris Commons! What a brilliant start for Celtic!
While several minnows proved themselves invincible against their more established opponents.
Can Sugu do it? He shoots, and he scores it, and Sugu has done it again!
Today, 5 clubs will earn the right to do battle with Europe's big boys. In Italy, Portuguese side Brava will attempt to overcome the hometown favorites. But Udinese have one of the deadliest strikers in the world at their disposal.
Di Natale is the target. Di Natale's header! It was always going to be Antonio Di Natale.
Panathinaikos was stunned by La Liga's Malaga in the south coast of Spain.
It's gone the blind side. Free ball here! 2-0 Malaga! And it's on the end of it. They're having a Spanish fiesta.
The Greek powerhouse must now mount a second-leg comeback on home turf or face a season without soccer's top club competition. The playoff round continues. It's the UEFA Champions League, next on Fox Soccer.
And we welcome you to the UEFA Champions League pregame show presented by Geico. Rob Stone, former English international, Warren Barton, our 2 ex-U.S. internationals down there, Eric Winalda, Brian McBride. Now, back in May, the deconstruction of the old Fox Sports main set began. Then the real work took place. Late June, the team went to work and hardly stopped. Our thanks to the many, many people who put countless hours into this project to make this a reality. So, speaking of reality, we closed the old set down on Survival Sunday. We open up the spectacular new set here with the Champions League Fox Soccer. Your ending, your first, your last, your everything. No one's going to sing it with me? We were singing it yesterday.
I didn't know where you were going.
I hear my voice.
Oh, hang with me during rehearsals. All right. 5 games on tap today, and for the teams behind the focus, certainly is going to be on the field. There's also going to be an eyeball or 2 or 3 on the bank accounts as well.
Every player wants to be a part of this, that's for sure. But for the owners, the approximate $16 million means they can go and buy those players.
Yeah. Well, not everybody's got deep pockets, and we've seen that time and time again. There's not a lot of one-hit wonders, if you will, in the Champions League. It's what you do with the money. Those are the teams that have figured out the business side, and they stick around, and we see them talk about them every year after that.
I think you're right. I think we do talk about the money, particularly in the Champions League, but for the players and the coach has already come out from Udinese and said this is the biggest game of his life, and he's vastly experienced. So for the players, it's prestige. You can imagine who you're coming against. The draw is on Thursday. So you might get Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United. Very exciting times.
Which means big ticket sales.
Oh, yeah.
If you can bring in Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United. The goal, of course, reached the group stage. The draw for those final 32 teams live 11:30 a.m. Eastern this Thursday from Monaco right here on Fox Soccer. Now, here are the rules for the second leg of these playoffs. The side with the most aggregate goals advances. If that total is even, away goals is your tiebreaker. Still no resolution there means 30 minutes of extra time followed by penalties if needed. Here's your viewing schedule for the day. DirecTV with 2 live games. Belarus side, Bate up 2-0 on aggregate in Israel. Dinamo Zagreb 2-1 winners last week are in Slovenia versus Maribor. Over on Fox Soccer Plus, 20-time Greek First Division winners Panathinaikos. Actually, they're going to be on FSN. They're at home after falling last Wednesday 2-0 in Spain. And then over on Fox Soccer Plus American, Sasha Kljestan and his Belgian side, Anderlecht, down 2-1 in the series, but they are at home, and Sasha is in the starting 11. And here on Fox Soccer, Leg 2 between Udinese and Braga, Italian international Antonio Di Natale looking for his first goal in the series. That is tied up at 1. Udinese constantly succeeding, yet playing in the shadow of some of those larger, legendary Italian sides. They have one word on their minds today, Warren: redemption.
There's no doubt, Rob, as also it's this stage last season when they lost to Arsenal. So that is in the back of their mind. There's no doubt about that. For me, why this is so crucial for them is the away goal. They've got that away goal. They've got something to hang on to. They can let the game sit out. With the Italians, it's quite in their DNA just to let the game drift away. So I think from their point of view, they're the favourites going into it.
For me, the most important thing is there's no excuses. These players have been rested if they need rest. Everybody else is going to be up for this game. And these teams have been focusing on this game since the end of last season.
Yeah, and there's some lessons learned here for Francesco Guidolin. I mean, the way he went out against Arsenal, he's strengthened his squad. He's changed his tactics a little bit. I think it's going to be too much. They're going to take advantage of it. And Di Natale, yet to score this year in this part,
yeah.
I got a feeling he's going to find the back of the net.
More pressure to be the home team or the road team in these legs? Obviously, it depends on what the aggregate is, but would you rather be home in leg 2 or leg 1?
I think in Europe, whenever I've played there, be at home. Have the destiny in your own hands. So you know, as I said, going back, that away goal is vital. Their confidence, they've had the disappointment and experience of last season against Arsenal at this stage. They know what they have to do and know to go forward.
You almost have to play the first game just to figure out where you're going to be. The second game where it's all about and you'd rather be at home.
Right, you get to feel them out in that first one. But the energy in the second one's important. You can't come out the same way you came out in the first if you came back and let people come on to you. 5
games, we don't expect anybody to be flat today. Panathinaikos seeking to reach the group stage for the 10th time. It's not going to be easy. The good news for the Greek camp is they were 1-goal winners over the weekend in their domestic league season opener. The bad news, the reality of the hole they dug last week. Inside 34 minutes of the opening whistle, they found themselves down 2-0 to Spanish side Malaga. Will the home cooking be enough to serve up a massive comeback?
You are watching the UEFA Champions League Pre-Game Show on Fox Soccer, presented by Geico.
Welcome back inside our brand new Fox Sports studio here in Los Angeles. Opening day here for us, but not for the Champions League. Last Wednesday, Spanish side Malaga jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the opening 34 minutes, a start that finished off Panathinaikos for the day.
Well, the players prepare for the heat of battle. Biggest game in the history. Win and Malaga will be rubbing shoulders with a European elite. And they have a tough opponent in Panathinaikos. And we play on a top save. From Joaquim, free header from Demi Kellis and held on. And Malaga have taken the lead. And the veteran Argentinian ignites this place. Lovely 1-2. It's go on the blind side. Free ball here. 2-0 Malaga. And Liso on the end of it. And they're having a Spanish fiesta.
Fantastic start for Malaga Football Club. That really is putting the pressure on Panathinaikos.
It's been a tough couple of months for the club, but this is the occasion that they've always dreamed of. Job well done by Malaga. They've beaten Panathinaikos by 2-0.
31-year-old Argentinian Willie in the cage for Malaga. You can see that one coming up on FSN, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, as they're on the road in Greece to take on Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos manager was quoted the other day saying his side needs to play with more confidence, more intensity than they did in Leg 1. Besides that fact, Brian, how do they get back into the series?
They need to have a strong start. They need to come out, like the coach said, with that intensity and make sure that they put as much pressure on them as possible. And if they can, get an early goal. On top of that, maybe a few 4-leaf clovers.
He wants to make it, yeah. He wants to make it a war. That's what he wants to do. He said they was too quiet, the game was too stagnant for them. He wants to make it a battle. He wants to try and upset the rhythm that they can get into and make it a difficult game for the away team.
Well, the Greek side has a history of comebacks. Twice in the last 7 years, they have recovered from 2-goal deficits in Champions League qualifying. Eric, how does Malaga prevent another comeback?
I think Pellegrini, their manager, is the secret, and because he's already been in these kind of situations. He went to Malaga in the first place for the money. The owner pulls the plug, and now he's back to familiar territory. It's kind of what he did with Villarreal and got him the Real Madrid job. He can deal with these kind of situations. He's got his team ready. He knows they have the quality to play, but he can also deal with all this madness that's about to start.
You think it's going to be a big home field advantage today?
I do. I think Pellegrini is the secret. I think it's going to be way too much for the Greeks, and they're going to take care of business.
You said earlier he's going to be walking into Thunderdome.
Yeah, it's going to feel like that. But that's why when you have a manager like that who can just calm that storm and get his guys ready and get them playing the kind of football that we saw last year, I think it's too much.
He's got players as well that are comfortable. Joaquim is vastly experienced in there. Tudelon, the midfield player from Lyon, he's experienced in there. So they know at their tempo, their pace, and the football that they've shown, Eric, they are a tremendous team.
You wonder how they handle an early goal.
Yeah.
Because then, I don't care how much you say you can prepare and take on the fans, they're going to be too much. They'll create so much energy for them, and it'd be great to see that for the excitement.
Let's show some of the strengths of Malaga that we saw the other day in their Leg 1 victory. And what impressed you in that win, Warren?
But it's just the football, the comfort that they have. You know, the technique. We talk about, playing a wall pass in a small space, because we said with Panathinaikos, they are a well-drilled back line. But to play this type of football in an area and then to have the understanding to anticipate on the final third to just try and push in and take that chance. And that was clinical, Eric. I think they can play very, very slick football.
Right.
They've got the confidence in the final third. Technically, they are an excellent team.
And the thing about that is when you go into a mindset, that obviously being the away game, getting 8 people behind the ball all the time, that doesn't necessarily mean you're playing defense. They got to go for it today. A little bit more space. We're going to see the talents, the true talents of Malaga.
Their rhythm was special in the last game.
Yep.
They were able to find players when they wanted, and they were able to go forward when they wanted. If they can continue that, then I see them doing really well.
The Spanish influence that they have in there, where they're comfortable in the ball, even though there's a back line that's organised, they can play 1-2s in a phone booth. You see Barcelona, you see Spain, technically players that are gifted to know that you've got the ability to pass it in there.
1-2 in a phone booth. I thought I had a lock on that. I'm glad I'm rubbing off on you.
The timing of the 1-2s that you were saying as well. Nice. Go to the starting lineups. And Captain Kostas Katsarenas sat out the weekend match as he let a groin injury heal. He is in the starting 11 today, Brian, for the Greek side.
Well, Panathinaikos starts with 2 changes from last week. They've got Orestis Karnazis in goal. This year, he's allowed only 3 goals. He's actually kept 3 clean sheets in all competitions. From there, you move forward to the captain. He's a leader. He started 4 games in this year's Euro. And then to Sissoko, the midfielder on loan from Wolfsburg, who scored in the previous round against Motherwell. And then Eric's favorite player,
Christodoulos. I love that name. That's absolutely. It sounds like it's going to be a heavyweight fight, and that gives you a little feel.
A lot of
heavyweight man.
Like that.
You're a heavyweight
want me to do it
man.
again? Christodoulos. That's a hard one.
I think with Malaga as well, we said about the goalkeeper, Willian Gale, the Argentinian, and his counterpart, number 5, vast experience, played for Bayern Munich. As I said, number 8, Tudelon, the French international as well. He's had his experience with Lyon. But I said Joaquim, number 7, we talk about experience. He's another player, but number 45, Pacis, the Cameroon player, only 16 years of age, got his first goal of the season. He is going to be a talent, and here's his showcase.
Talk a little bit more about number 18 right now as we take a look at our Pizza Hut favorite matchup. Ali Su taking on the Greek keeper.
Yeah, and I think when we say about the matchup as well, we've got players that are confident on the ball, he can bring other people into him. And as we said, players that are going to have a chance, have a shot, have the technique. And we said with this goalkeeper, he's had 3 clean sheets already. He's going to be tested again today.
In a competition like this, you need to come up with 1 or 2 saves. We've talked about it in different times. But the importance of being able to rely on your goalkeeper during this competition is huge.
And we saw it with Braga. I mean, Braga got him right back into the game, and then they had that wonder strike. So if that's going to be the case, and that's the way this game's going to go, absolutely true. You're going to have a goalkeeper come up big.
Best offense, sometimes a good defense. That's Malaga trying to reach the Champions League proper, the final 32 teams, for the first time in their history. Over the weekend, they drew 1-1 with Mallorca, a result that would suit them just fine today. A win or tie, and Malaga would join fellow Spanish sides Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Valencia in the final 32. Their match coming up live on FSN. And we shift now over to the northeast of Italy. Udinese, third in the Serie A last season, just 90 minutes away from qualifying for their second Champions League proper in the last 7 years. That one live right here on Fox Soccer.